Hey everybody, welcome to Mom's Taxi and Crochet. It's Tracy here. I'm again waiting for my daughter, and today I wanted to come on and work on a little washcloth. I'm gonna work it from corner to corner in a single crochet pattern, and I would normally have one here with me to show, but I forgot it at the house. So we'll just go ahead and get started with it. I'm working with my Furls crochet hook. It's a G 4.5 and some cotton yarn. And how you start out is you make your magic circle or magic ring, however you want to say it. But you put your tail end in your hand, hold on to it, take your working yarn, wrap around, and then cross over. You take your hook, go underneath. Ooh, there we go. Grab a hold of that working yarn, pull it under, give it a little twist, hang on to everything, grab your working yarn and pull it through, and there you made a little magic loop. And right off the bat, I want to make 3 single crochets inside of this ring. So go down through the magic ring, pull up a loop, and then single crochet 1, and again 2, and 1 more, 3. This is the very first corner of my washcloth. Now I'm going to chain up 1, which I never count my starting chain or my chain 1 as a stitch. I just use it to step up to keep everything in line. I'm going to turn my work, and then I'm just going to work into the back of that single crochet, the very first one. And I'm going to work an increase, so which means you're just going to work 2 single crochets into that very same stitch. Okay, and then the second one, you just work 1 single crochet, and in the last you will work 2, because you're going to increase on each side. Okay, so now you went from 3 to 5 stitch count. Okay, and here is where I'm going to pull my tail and tighten up this loop here. There you go. And then I'm going to chain 1. Then I'm going to work my increase in the very first stitch. 1 and 2, and then 1 in the next, 1 in the next, because your stitch count now is 5. Each time you increase, you increase by 2, so your stitch count goes up 2 on each row. So you want to just keep count. There's 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this very last one here, you want to place 2 single crochets. 1 and 2. And once you go on, if you notice right here, this little bitty stitch right here, that is actually your very first stitch. Okay, so in order me set this down for just a moment. In order to keep up with your stitches, it is a very good idea to use stitch markers. One on the very first stitch and one on the very last stitch. That way you'll be able to keep up with where you're at and you won't miss your stitches. I mean, it may be a little extra step, but hey, in the long run, that little extra step can save a big headache, okay? So now you have a stitch count of 7, correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I'm going to chain 1. And this is where I'm going to go ahead and place my stitch marker. And how I do that, I love these ones here. I really I like working with these stitch markers. They're flexible, but they don't break. There's some of them that's like this. They're the clear, and they're real kind of like brittle, and they break like super easy. But these here, as you can see, you can bend them all around and they don't break. But I open it up, I slip it over the end of my hook, and then I pop it around. So now it is resting right on that working yarn. I fasten it down, and I've already done my chain 1, so I'm going to turn, pushing that out of my way. Whoops, I'm sorry. And I'm going to work 2 single crochets in the very first stitch. 1, 2, and yes, I'm sitting in the parking lot of my daughter's work, so you're going to hear vehicles going by and people walking around, and they look at me like I'm nuts, but hey, it's okay. I'm multitasking. All right, we did 2 single crochets in the first stitch. And then we want to do 1 single crochet in each of the next stitches until you get to the very last stitch of this row. And there you will you work an increase. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's your very last stitch. It is hard to see without the stitch marker, so we just have to be very careful and make sure we get that very last one. And this will be your last increase on this row. 8 and 9. And on this end, I'm going to do exactly how I did over here. I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to take my stitch marker. I'm going to slip that over my hook, pop it in place, lock it down, turn my work, and then work 2 single crochets in the very first one. 1, 2, and again 1 single crochet all the way across until you reach your stitch marker. And now where your stitch marker is, you now know that that is your very last stitch, and then that is where your last increase of the row will come in at. And on each row you will end with an odd number, okay, an odd number of stitches. If you end with a even number, then you've missed a stitch or something or other. So just make sure you end with an odd number. So we did the first increase here, which is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and now we're to our increase. 10 and 11. And that's the very start of my washcloth. Now I'm going to get my tail out of my way. Chain 1, replace my stitch marker, lock it down so I don't lose it, and remember that that chain 1 that I do does not count as a stitch. That's just going to step me up and keep my work straight. Okay, here's our increase. 1, 2, and then single crochet all the way back across until you reach your second stitch marker. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm going to remove my stitch marker because it's easier to work in with the stitch marker out of there. 11, and then your increase. 12 and 13. And this pattern makes by working in that back loop only, it gives like little ridges. See how it bumps up, which in my opinion that makes for a good, you know, texture for the washcloth. Now I'm going to chain 1, replace my marker, turn my work, and repeat it. Increase in the first one, and then 1 in each stitch across. It's a very simple pattern, and it makes for a nice cloth. You can use this pattern for, you know, anything you wish. I mean, really, I think it'd be really cute to make a whole bunch of them up, same size, different colors, and then you can put them together to where, you know, they, you know, line up different to where, you know, I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but kind of like granny squares, but not, and you can put them all together like you do granny squares, but for how the lines are, you can do it to where they're, you know, they don't line up. I don't know how to say. Maybe one of these days I'll do some solid colors and show you what I'm talking about. sometimes it's easier just to show somebody something versus trying to tell them. This wasn't planned, this, what I'm doing here today. I just, figured why not. I went ahead and found a holder for my phone that actually is working out rather nicely for me, sitting in the car. So I thought, why not go ahead and give it a shot and see if it works. And it is working perfect for me. So thought, why not go ahead and record while I'm sitting here and get a washcloth done while I'm at it, and show y'all how I do it. And I just hope that I'm recording right and it's not going to be all sideways. And you know, I've seriously been having issues with that for quite some time, and I don't know. I just hope I figure it out soon, because it's aggravating as all get out. I'm going to repeat this. I believe, excuse me, the ones I already have made up, I believe I continued the process of increasing until I reached, I want to say 25 stitches across. I may be wrong. I'll work it until I reach 25 and see how large it is, and then I'll decide from there. Alright, so I did my... It keeps going fuzzy on me, doesn't it? Or is it pretty clear? I can't quite tell. Ugh, get that stitch marker in my way. Work my increase. Go ahead and do a stitch count while I'm at it. Make sure I'm still on track. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Get all this unwadded. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. You know what? I believe I'm completely off on the how many stitches I did to begin. Well, in the other washcloths I did, it might have been 35 that I did. We'll see. I'm working on 2 different washcloths at the same time. One has 35 stitch count, and then the other one has the 25. Is that what I said? One has 35, one has 25. And I'm not entirely sure which one is what. I guess I should have brought my notebook with me, but I did not. So, and as you can tell, this works up fairly quick. and really easy. I mean, once you get the hang of it, you know, it's... In my opinion, I believe it's an easy pattern. I would like to play some music for you guys to give you something else to listen to other than me jabbering, but YouTube won't have it. I have some videos that I actually uploaded the other day that I need to go in and edit and probably do a voiceover or something. Because I did get copyright. Anyway, copyright something. I can't remember what they said. But anyway, I don't guess it really... I mean, I have 34 subscribers. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be, you know, missing out on any revenue anytime soon. I hear little kids somewhere. So I might just leave it as it is. I don't know. Or leave them. I think there's 2, maybe 3 videos that... Copyright restriction? Is that what they was calling it? I can't remember. But... oh well. They were just, me driving around. Listening to my radio. But oh well. No big deal. Yeah, I am thinking that they should be, I think I'll work it until I reach like 35 stitches. And then I will start to work the decrease. Night shift are starting to roll in. Not entirely sure what time it is. How long have I been on here? 23 minutes. It's going to allow me 33 minutes. So, and I don't know, I mean, I see I have a pause button on here. But anytime I pause it and try to, uh-oh, see what I did? I stuck my stitch marker on there without doing my chain. My chain one. Now replace my stitch marker. So I may get to however many stitches I want this up to, and then I may have to do another video on how to decrease, you know, making it, finishing up on the cloth. I'm going to go ahead and count. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and an ambulance, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, yeah, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, yeah, see, I was way off. I was just confused on what stitch count went with what washcloth I'm working on. So this one here has to be 35 stitches, because this right here is 25 stitches, and you know, well, that's not much of a washcloth, is it? Alright, let me pull out some more yarn here. Give me a good little bit there to start with. Chain 1. And replace my stitch marker. And start again. Increase in that very first. 1. And then 2. Single crochet all the way across till you get to that very last stitch. We were at 25 stitches on the last row, so this one here you'll have 27. I'm going to work on this as much as I can until I run out of time. I guess I just have a time restriction on recording. I don't know. Like I said, I've been working, trying to figure it out, but I guess my brain is just slow. I don't know. One of these days I'll figure it out. If not, then I guess I'll just do what I've been doing and just muddle through. Way of life anymore, it seems like. Muddle through. There's an increase in the very first stitch. 1 single crochet all the way back across. And I know this is not a tutorial, really. Not really at all, because, well, maybe it is. I don't know if you can actually tell what I'm doing or not. But, single crochet and back loop only. If it were a regular single crochet, you would actually work into both. You'd go underneath both of them stitches. See where it's a V along here? We're just going to pick up that very back of that single crochet and work your single crochet through the back loop only. That is what that means. And that just creates a little ridge on each side. Got another little knot. There we go. After 30 minutes, I cannot believe it's taken 30 minutes to do this. Somebody's fixing to walk past here. I am talking. It's alright. And here we are to our very last stitch. Oh, was I even in frame? I don't know. Very last stitch, you work an increase, 2 single crochets in the very last. Chain 1. And place my stitch marker, turn my piece, work an increase. I'm going to count this round or row. 1, 2, pull some more yarn. Okay, 2, and then there's this 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23,